Hey guys, my name is SolomonAkpore, and we'll be talking to you today about the impact of smartphones on our physical and social interaction with one another. Um, do you know that the present smartphone have more computing power than the computers used for the Apollo 11 mission to the moon? And 90% of adults have their smartphone within arm's reach today. Two of the main points I'll be talking to you today are smartphones addiction and effective usage of smartphone. Um, how many times have you seen people walking on the street with their eyes glued to their smartphones, or in churches where you have them like texting, you know, and in schools, speakers are speaking in the podium, but you have, the audience completely submerged in their smartphone too many times, right? The worst is when you go out on a date, right? Only to find your partner talking to you but actively engaged on their phones. Or even worse, when you're like talking and they're just like nodding, yeah, yeah, giving you that nod like they're listening, but they're completely gone while still there at the same time. Unfortunately, this is the world we live in, that we find ourselves today. Uh, it's a smartphone epidemic. Uh, as technology keeps getting better and smartphone keeps getting all these cool updates and ability to do more at the palm of our hands, the need to do more surpasses the gadget's ability, right? It makes it even harder because with every new update, with every new phone that comes out, there's always something new about that new one that makes it do more, right, than the previous one, and we'll, go out, buy the newer gadgets, eh, the camera is like 20% more brighter, it's faster than this, you can do more with this, right? The risk for doing more on the go comes with a hidden addiction problem, especially with smartphone. A lot of us don't realize how much addicted we are to our phones until we lose it for maybe a day or two. Uh, it reminds me of when I actually dropped my phone, uh, and I went to a T-Mobile store to get a new one, and they told me they have to back order the phone, right? And it's gonna take uh, overnight. So they would ship it overnight, right? And apparently it didn't come in time, and it took 2 days, 2 days for me to get my phone. Those were the longest 2 days of my life. And I thought I was losing everything. I was losing my sanity because I was completely with that phone, right? And that was when uh, I realized that I have an addiction, and it's called smartphone addiction. I just realized those 2 days I sat down and thought about everything. Why is it hurting so bad? Why just doing without my phone felt like, something so strange. It just felt completely like I was in darkness, right? That was when I realized I really have an addiction, right? Uh, and I thought, I better keep this in check before it get out of place. So when my new phone came, I, you know, even though it was hard at first, but I started checkmating how much time I was spending on my smartphone, right? Another problem a smartphone today has caught the very need for face-to-face interaction, uh, thereby undermining our conversational skill and judgment. Our place of work today, instead of attending meetings or talking with an employee, smartphone today make it possible for us to do conference call. People in China, in Europe, or whatever, they do conference call, right, all over without even seeing themselves. And with those kind of conversation, you can really judge body language or facial grimace, like, for every word you throw out there, you can really tell how people are reacting, because with smartphone and those conference call, there's no measurement. You just know, you speak the word and people respond, but you can really tell if they're faking it or not, compared to when you have a face-to-face conversation with a friend or a neighbor, right? So it undermines our human communication skill, human interaction. That is what, even in place of work or at school, that is what smartphone actually do. And society today is actually yearning for that human interaction. We need more of that today. To effectively use smartphone in this age, one has to be principled enough. We have to be diligent in differentiating between play and work and leisure time. Put your phone on silent mode is, one good way to be focused at work or at school. To increase productivity, one need to be efficient a lot. Take for example, a manufacturing company or service firm, they have a zero tolerance for phone while at work. You're only allowed to use your phone when on break. I'm going to give you some pretty interesting statistics. The National Safety Council report that cell phone use while driving leads to 1.6 million crashes each year. 330,000 of those injuries result from accident while texting and driving. 1 out of 4 car incidents are in the United States is caused by texting and driving. Texting while driving is 6 times more likely to cause an accident than drinking driving. Answering a text message take away your attention for about 5 seconds. Traveling at 55 miles per hour, that is enough time for you to travel the length of a football field. This is not how smartphones were intended to be used. Ask yourself, is texting your friend, "I am on my way," while driving, worth dying for? Think about that. Think about that. Think about those parents that lost their kids to those beautiful gadgets they got on their birthday. Think about that. Think about the millions of brothers and sisters and friends that have lost their loved one to this phenomenon that is slowly but deadly impacting our lovely world today. Think about the future of our next generation, how they would communicate. Would there be a need for social interaction? Think about the school and libraries we have today. Would there still be there standing when you can pull up all the information you have in the library in your palm of your hand? Think about that. What can we do today to balance the time spent on your smartphone and personal time? Think about that. Thank you. Bye.